Good morning.
Good evening over here. What's up, my dude?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Come on, will you take my confession
You know,
in this confession booth?
I really don't
Will you
have the power to
please?
absolve people the way you were implying before.
But you did kind of run the PR campaign, don't you? I mean, that is basically what your brand is. A rebranding apparatus.
My brand is mostly debating people. I think that how many
Do you?
former skeptics have I talked to? Like 3, 4? We have well, Hunter wasn't a skeptic, but still. We have Josephine Matthias, Chris Raygun, but who beyond that? I mean, that can't be the entirety of my content.
And by thou words, they are now absolved of everything they've done. I mean, this is the reality of how it is perceived.
I don't.
Suddenly, they are now new people, leftists. I mean, I don't have as much of a problem with Chris Raygun, but, you know, there are probably some people who do. But what gives you the authority to declare these people...
Why are you talking like that?
New people.
What? I'm not too...
Because it's in the morning.
I just talk with them. Why are you being weird?
I'm not being weird. You're the one being weird.
We talked. So we talked. Hold on. So for full context, like we talked last night, and I'm interested because even though I think we had a decently civil convo like 2 years ago, you've gone from that to like shit talking me relentlessly, and not just shit talking me, but calling me like a tanky, calling me like a pedophile and like a groomer, like really weird shit like that. And I don't know why.
I don't think I called you a pedophile.
Yeah, I seen some of your tweets. You kind of implied it pretty heavily. I'd say,
well, it is true that you said some weird messages to random girls.
No,
I mean, that is more like, it's more funny than anything.
Random girls. I was friends with girls who I acted creepy to like 4 years ago, but that's like a super out and about
that clip of you saying that this Sargon thing that male feminists are just out there to creep on women, that clip of you saying, yeah, that's true. I got so much pussy in university.
What are you talking about?
By telling, well, that clip of you is out there.
There was a clip where I don't remember the specific context, but somebody said that guys are only feminists to get pussy, and I said afterwards, in a fairly jovial way, that actually, yes, being a feminist does make it easier to relate to women.
It's just a meme.
I said it in a joking way, but I mean it. It's true. I think that, yeah, being nice and understanding women's issues does make it easier.
Please make the case to me. I would like to have that case now.
We've moved off the point a bit.
But
anyway,
how much has Shoe0nHead joined? Yes, please add your narration to the soup. But how much? Please make the case, dear lawyer. How much has Shoe0nHead changed? How much of a good person is she now? How much of a true leftist is she now?
So as I was saying, we can get to that, but as I was saying, last night, I asked you why you were so antagonistic to me, and it seems like it's because you're under the impression that my channel is about rehabilitating the image of people who you dislike.
Well, it's the same grift Sargon used to run 5 years ago. I used to be an SJW, and I come to Sargon to confess my sins. And now you run that grift.
I run
It's pretty gross.
Okay.
Yes.
What is a grift?
Grift. Well, it's a modus of operation on the internet by which to succeed in building a career. We all run grifts. All of us here are grifters. Everyone who makes money on YouTube is a grifter in their own way. I am a grifter.
What's the point of accusing people of being No, a grifter is when you say things...
specifying what your grift is.
A grift is when you lie for some sort of personal benefit. So if you believe
that is rich, that is rather rich.
In some way, I can address
the entire thing that you do is a lie. You run a PR campaign.
How about let's run it point by point. You sound like Arch Warhammer right now, like you're doing the puffy British ramble. Like let's just hold on. So
that is how I speak, boy.
I've watched your videos. I know how you talk. Anyway,
and you've spoken to me, so you know how I talk.
Yeah, should we like pull up the old video where you don't sound like a lunatic LARPer trying to sound like a British judge in a head wig? Like, why are you sounding like this?
I'm just amusing myself. I'm having fun.
I'm having fun as well, my good boy. Why don't we continue with both of us attempting this ridiculous charade?
Have fun. You should have fun.
Of course.
Now, please, make the good case.
So, I believe your understanding of the word grifter was inaccurate prior to this point. I'd like to correct you, if I may.
Very funny.
If you believe that indeed a grifter is anyone who attempts to do anything to benefit their own standing, then
dear sir, that
I do believe a grifter would be everyone on Earth.
And has redeemed herself in the eyes of everyone. Please, make that case.
Okay, but you know grift doesn't mean what you're saying it's meaning, right? So we're all grifters. So you're a grifter
Well, we can
too.
agree to disagree. Yes, we are all grifters.
Wait, can I Google?
We are all grifters.
Can Google settle? Hold on. Griff. Actually, now that I think about it, the term grifter is like a very online term. I wonder if the definition actually wouldn't be. Hold on.
Well, then you shouldn't spend so much time online, boy.
A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. Yeah, that's more of an old-timey definition, I think. But I stand by my description.
This is why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I would like to know why people who have a problem with shoes should let go because you tell them to.
I have never told anyone to let go of their antagonism.
But you are the one running the rebrand.
I'm not running anything.
You did, though.
Shoes channel is like 5 times the size of mine. I don't have the ability to completely rehabilitate her
Do you
image.
think she would have continued growing if she hadn't come onto your stream to suddenly declare herself a leftist?
How powerful do you think I am?
I am not a leftist. I'm completely grossed out by it. I don't know. What do you mean power? Fundamentally, none of us here have any power. We're just idiots on the internet. That's fundamentally what we all are.
Her circulation of traffic is larger than mine. I don't have the ability. You just happen
to help her. You just happen to help her rebrand and
I'll tell you,
escape
she helped my analytics quite a bit more than I helped her.
Yeah, and you helped her in exchange escape responsibility.
What? Wait, escape what? What did I escape? Or what did she escape?
She escaped being held to account by all the people who she screwed over, fucked over.
I'm not your class action lawyer. If you have issues with her, you can talk to her. I'm not here to analyze her behavior.
Then why would you always constantly jump in and defend her?
I defend her against claims that I think are illegitimate. She defends me against claims she thinks are illegitimate.
Which claims are illegitimate?
Well, what claims are you making?
That she was a grifter, that she only changed her opinions into being left-wing because it suddenly became profitable.
Do you have any evidence of that?
She backed Nazi scum. I fucking tweeted the screen cap of you.
I've seen it before,
defending the Gunt.
Yeah, Ethan Ralph.
When he got banned for Holocaust denial stream. When he ran an entire 1-year-long fucking campaign of making my life miserable because I made videos against the Nazis 2 years before you were even here, boy.
Why do you talk like
that? You do know that she spent a considerable time making people's lives miserable. And it's more than just me. You know that.
I'm familiar with all of that.
There is a guy who years ago falsely accused, I should say, of spreading child pornography. How do you think will this guy, I can't speak on his behalf, but have you ever considered in your bird brain how that guy
Kraut.
might think about your rebranding
Kraut,
of her?
Hold on. So the issue is, why should I trust anything you have to say when I know you lie about me? Like, why would I believe your characterization of anything that's happened?
Well, then don't. And let me ask you this. Why should I trust Shoe's rebrand?
You don't have to. I'm not forcing you to do anything.
Why should I trust your rebrand of her and your current defense of her when she's dating a Nazi?
How is she? When is she dating a Nazi?
Oh, don't be so obtuse. It is literally people in your own community who found that out. And posted it in your fucking subreddit.
I saw
the guy she went to the fucking Capitol riot with.
Is there any actual evidence?
How much of a
wait. You realize how much misinformation spreads about me, right? People have been spreading. Wait, hold on. Realize? Wait, hold on. Wait, really quickly. Kraut.
Misinformation.
Wait, Kraut. Really quickly. Okay, you do realize that there were a fuck ton of people talking about how she and I were dating, right? Was that true? Like, people were talking about that everywhere.
I don't follow such stuff. It's not.
So
no, it's not.
Maybe people talk about things that aren't necessarily true sometimes.
Or you are convinced now that that is a lie. Suddenly this shifts. And suddenly it's
no, I just would need to see evidence other than
weird
you
tweets
saying it
about being some kind of prison sex slaves by a Nazi that these people made during the Capitol riot.
Are you?
What I'm talking about is what I've observed.
What?
And it is in your. It is in your subreddit.
Okay, wait.
The conversation about
hold on. Wait. Hold on. This isn't a therapy session. If you have problems with
you have looked at the account. You have looked at the account.
What
right?
account? What are you talking about?
This is not a therapy session, dude. I am asking you how much.
Mute for a second. Okay, so Yeah, I muted you. Okay, well, I can hear you, but they can't because I need to just. I'm here. If you have a problem with my behavior, do you want to talk about it? Okay. Are you okay? You're not okay, are you? No, he's still going. He's still going. Okay. I've unmuted. Okay. So did you have problems with me or?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I
you
don't know anything about this.
The rebranding of these people.
So wait,
you are the one.
I'm looking. Wait, hold on. I'm looking at this Reddit post right now. I see a post on 4chan, and then another post on 4chan that mentions me, and then a third post on 4chan, and then some Discord logs where Shoe doesn't seem to buy into the idea that she's dating anyone.
This is a conversation with her and him.
Okay. I don't have anything to say about this.
You're trying very hard to discredit this.
I'm not. It's just random 4chan posts.
You're trying, really. This is not just random 4chan posts. There's literally screen caps of DMs in there and posts in private servers.
Yeah, I've seen all this shit about me and Shoe, too.
I mean, maybe you should encourage your audience to go and watch it and read it themselves.
Wait, why the fuck would my audience care, even if this is true, what Shoe is doing in her private life? You realize how weird and stalkery you sound, right?
Private life? Private life? She went to the fucking Capitol riot with a Nazi.
Dude,
I mean, the entire thing that you predicated your streams on is that she's now a reformed person. I mean, tell me this. How much of a leftist do you have to be?
Nothing that's presented here even looks like evidence. Okay,
how much?
So you just came here to, like, complain that you're not fucking Shoe. Is that it? Like, this is really fucking weird.
Oh, no. I have a dating preference for women who can read.
I hope you understand how fucking weird
you're
this
free
is,
to
right?
imply whatever you want to imply.
No, but you came here and you're, like, obsessed with Shoe. Like, you're presenting... Like, you might as well give me a fucking Kiwi Farms link. Like,
I am also
dude, look at it. Like, this corroborates right here.
And all the other people who you've rebranded.
What do you mean rebranded? Why don't we focus on that accusation? So you can watch the videos where I talk to these people. Usually what I do is I bring up things they've done that are negative and I talk about them with them about those things. And, like, if I like them, I like them, and if I don't, I don't. What do you mean by rebrand? What should I have done? Tell me.
You should have done nothing.
Not talk to them?
It is not your place.
It's not my
to forgive people. It is not your place to forgive people for what they did to others.
What are you talking about?
It is not your place to do that.
So nobody should ever talk to anybody who anyone else ever thinks they've been wronged by.
Do you know what I did for most of 2019?
How can you talk to me? There are tons of people who think I've wronged them.
Do you know what I did throughout most of 2019? You obese little twat.
Yeah, because you were in my DMs complaining.
Fucking year. I spent
you were in my DMs asking for my help in rebranding your image.
Twat. I spent most of that time reflecting, and I reached out to the people who I've hurt. I spent a fucking year doing that. Okay. I reached out to the people who I have hurt. I reflected on the years that I spent in the anti-SJW.
Even if I had fucked you over,
I did so publicly, and then
even if I had fucked you over really bad in the past,
the shtick has to continue. That the anti-SJW stick has to continue. That this entire way of making content, of this nasty response, talking over, screaming, bitchy shit that people like Warski and Sargon started. Yeah, you basically just rebranded the anti-SJW style of making videos.
How?
That is what you did.
What? How?
Because that is how you make content.
Wait, how? By going over videos?
Yeah. You don't anything. You don't do anything. All you do is just ramble. You turn on a microphone and you ramble.
Dude, who's rambling more in this conversation? I don't know.
Well, I make videos.
Wait, I do too?
Research, I sit down,
what do you mean?
write?
So wait, so to ramble on a video is to borrow Sargon shtick.
No, you continue Sargon shtick.
Oh, because he copyrighted rambling? What about Sam Cedar? Is he also a Sargon clone? He rambles like harder than me because he's a boomer.
Well, at least he seems to know what he's talking about.
Oh, so wait, now we've shifted it. Now it's not the aesthetic, it's the content. I see.
Well,
Dude, you're just mad at me. You're just mad. You're angry and you're sad and you're bitter.
It is the aesthetic. It is the aesthetic of what you do.
But he rambles more than I do.
Your content is extremely similar to what Sargon does. Turn on a webcam, talk about shit that you know nothing about.
Okay. What do I not know anything about?
Used to be
you notice that you aren't answering any questions because you have nothing to say. You're rambling. What do I not know about, by the way? What do I not know about? Are you drunk, by the way?
No, it's just free in the morning.
I'm trying to look for an excuse to your behavior. So I just have to say, by the way, to move to an earlier point, because you're like drunkenly stumbling from one to another.
How very generous.
Even if I had wronged you,
what is your final solution
I'm going to
mute
you
the Jewish
again. So even if I had wronged you really hard back in like 2018 or 2017, with your behavior, I genuinely don't know if it would be productive to apologize to you. So I muted you. Did you hear what I said? Okay, wait, that's cool. Here, I'll repeat it. Okay. So, even if I had like fucked you over really hard in the past, I have a feeling that it wouldn't really be productive to try to talk with you about it because your behavior in Twitter, like from my interactions with you, has made you come off like a spiteful lunatic. It doesn't seem like it would be a productive engagement.
Are you surprised that I am angry with these people? I mean,
no, I didn't say you were angry. I said you were a spiteful lunatic.
It's okay spiteful lunatic. You know, on the 22nd of December 2017, a Nazi called my mum, pretended to be a police officer, and told her that she had to come and identify my dead corpse because I had committed suicide. You know, I went through a year of bullshit.
Okay. Wait, did she make that call? Was she the one on the other end?
Fuck up and let people finish, fat boy.
What does this have to do with Shoe?
You know exactly, you know just as well as me that Shoe jumped onto that bandwagon.
Wait, Shoe called you? That
Shoe had deep alt-right associations.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I talked with her about that.
You know that. And I am not the only person that she fucked over. You know that.
Okay. Why don't you talk with her? You can unabsolve her.
I did, and she lied to me. And I didn't appreciate that.
What did she lie about?
Well, she lied to me saying, I don't know why you are angry with me. I explained it to her in detail. And then a week later, she did a live stream where she just flat out lied, said, I have no idea why he doesn't like me.
Well, it might have been that you were irrational enough that she wasn't able to get a clear picture of why you were upset with her.
I was very calm in that conversation.
Are you sure that you're capable of assessing that?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
You seem to be completely incapable.
If I had talked with Shoe, how should I have handled that conversation? Like, should I have brought the stuff up?
I don't think you should have handled this at all.
So I shouldn't have talked to Shoe.
You should have handled this at all. No, you could have talked to Shoe. That's fine. You can talk to whoever you can talk to whoever you want, mate.
Right.
But this impression you helped create that she's now this reformed leftist, it's just sickening. It's gross.
I don't think
because there's so many people out there who know it's not true.
She's a social democrat. I don't even think that she's a leftist. And I don't think at any point that I've said she's reformed either.
I don't believe she's anything.
Have I said?
I believe
wait, chat. I'm actually asking.
I believe she will say whatever she has to say to get clicks and views.
Chat. Have I ever said that she's reformed?
I believe you just facilitated a rebrand, and you shouldn't have.
But what did I do to facilitate that rebrand?
Jesus Christ.
No, I'm like, because you're saying I can talk, but I can't talk. I want to know what the...
You spent an entire year, mate. You spent an entire year with her.
I've only talked with her
like 4 year, streaming her constantly. This fucking stream you did was, please talk about how much of a bad anti-SJW you used to be without ever actually addressing anything you ever did or
couple of streams
said.
With her. Like, what stream? Can you give me like a sentence?
And you created the impression that everything she did was somehow irrelevant now. That she had to take no responsibility for anything anymore.
I don't
You did
think
that.
so.
You did that. You did that.
Okay.
You did that.
Okay.
You know that people think you did that.
No.
And if you don't want that impression out there, you should have counteracted it. But you chose not to.
I think I'll say this because we're going in circles, and I have a feeling that I'm enabling some really bad mental health practices on your part. But I will say that for the most part, I think that Shu is actually.
Are you a licensed therapist or something?
I think that
always
Shu
make these kind of statements of authority on things that I doubt you actually have any authority to speak from.
If I was a licensed therapist, then this might be a productive conversation. But unfortunately, I am.
Are you licensed in anything, for that matter of fact?
What would I be licensed
you always speak from this position of authority that you know everything that should
be. What authority do I lay claim to? Do you know my degree?
Like,
it's a bachelor's degree.
You backpedal when people then call you out on that.
What?
I mean, what do you actually know? What do you actually have any kind of experience
Okay, wait, hold on. Bad mental health practices. Hold on. Oh yeah, I have a driver's license. I'm licensed to drive in the state of Washington, California. So there's that. Anyway,
so you can do Uber.
No, I think you need an extra license
to do qualification.
Commercial driving.
You can do Uber.
I can also drive to the grocery store. Anyway, for what it's worth, I do think that Shu is a really sincere person from my conversations with her. I do think that maybe Shu has been very flippant about the potential consequences of her behavior in the past, but I've seen something really special happen with her community over the past year. I've seen a lot of fans of hers who used to be really like ignorant to fascism, like center-leaning, fence-sitting, like kind of dipshitty types, really get more involved in left-leaning action. And like, I'm not saying they're all hardcore political analysts. I see a lot of former Nazis
who are now the most vicious, bickering communists. Like you guys just facilitate a shift of people from one extreme to another.
Good. Fantastic.
That's really all
better than being Nazis. Yes. Good.
Better than being Nazis.
Yes.
Don't you sometimes wonder that you just continued bad behavioral practices? That these people still continue doing the bad things that they did 4 or 5 years ago when they did them for someone else? Please, now you're being
like what? Like
you
denying
know just
the Holocaust?
As well as everyone else. You know just as well as everyone else who has been around or at least knows about what happened here 2 years ago, that Nazi YouTube was a fucking vicious place.
Yeah, of course. And by the way, the online left today is also
that it harassed people, that it swatted people, that it called bomb threats in on people, that it harassed people's families.
Are you asking me if I have people who make bomb threats in my community?
I do wonder if these people never actually came to the conclusion.
Do you wonder, or do you have evidence that they don't?
It wasn't in the name of what they did these things that was wrong, but that it was what they did that was wrong. That this kind of practice, this kind of way of engaging on the internet is wrong. Okay. Shouldn't be done.
So you have a problem with moving Nazis to the left if it's done in a way that doesn't force them to come to front with the bad behavior they used to engage in.
I said exactly what I said, man. Don't try to rephrase it.
Wait, I thought that was a charitable framing of your argument. Was that uncharitable? Did I miss something?
I said, if you just rebrand these people into being left-wing, but they continue being nasty people, but they use you to rebrand themselves.
What do you...
If they join your community, they go into your Discord, they watch your streams, people who used to be some of the most vicious Nazis out there, and suddenly they're just left-wing.
I don't know what you mean by rebrand. If there are people who enjoy my content...
Well, that is what you do. You rebrand people.
If there are people who like my content, and they're Nazis, they like my content. There are some Nazis who like my content, or former Nazis, and they move to the left, that's a good thing. And I would hope that I could facilitate that move in a healthy way, because I don't want people in my community who are
even if it is to a violent extreme and to a really nasty position. Well, the Pol Pot worshippers, the people who think that people should be killed because of disagreements.
Yeah, anybody can be reformed, but it's better they exist as a leftist than whatever they were before.
There we go, reformed.
Yeah, like reform, like they become a better person. Yeah.
Becoming a better person only comes through oneself.
Right, but you have to be exposed to the right information.
Personal reflection.
Right, but you have to be exposed to the right information.
Well, then it just becomes a rebrand.
Well,
if you really just only change the talking points, but not who you are, There's no value.
I don't know what you mean by
there's
who
no
you want.
worth to it. Well, you can look at Shoe0nHead and you see a perfect example. Her content is the same style as she made back in the Gamergate days.
Yeah, because the style isn't what matters to me. The content.
It is so the style matters to you, and it's just the style.
No, but the content has changed.
The fact that Shoe0nHead still makes this bitchy, nasty little response videos, lashing out at people who can't fucking defend themselves, who don't have the means or the community to defend themselves. About?
I think
don't obfuscate. I mean,
asking clarifying questions is the opposite of obfuscating.
You're not asking clarifying questions. You're obfuscating. It's like a 5-year-old going on, why?
What videos has she done where she targets people who can't defend themselves? She's made 5 videos in the past 6 months. Like, she's not a super...
And her Twitter is also part of this.
Oh, yeah, she roasts people on Twitter.
Did you see that her content right now, like back in 2015,
I don't care if people are mean. That's not what I'm fighting against.
Her thing was constantly about, like, oh, I'm bashing at wine aunts, and these... supposedly
you realize you've deflected off like 20 points so far, right?
No.
So to get back to an earlier point, do you think it's possible to reform? Do you think it's possible to reform a Nazi?
And interrupt. You can't even listen.
Do you think it's possible to reform a Nazi?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Then I try to do that.
Why is Shoe0nHead still making the same content, the bullshit content in the same style
when
that she made in 2015?
The same content.
Why is she still
she's mean on Twitter?
No, why is she still bashing these 30-year-old feminists and all this shit? Why is it still this bad BuzzFeed take stuff?
Who cares? I don't care if she bashes BuzzFeed.
The output hasn't changed. But yeah, it does matter, and it does involve you, because now she does the same shit as she did 4 years ago, but suddenly it is called left-wing.
Because
but it is literally still the same shit.
No, the style has stayed the same.
No, the brand has stayed.
Okay.
The brand is everything that has changed. That's because of you.
Do you recognize there's a difference between style and substance?
Indeed, and there is no substance to what she does.
Okay, but do you recognize there's a difference between style and substance?
Yeah, there's a style. Oh. There's a considerable difference.
Okay, right.
There's a considerable difference.
If a person maintains please tell me, what is the style,
substance? What is the substance? What is the substance?
To what specific video? What are we talking about? Shoe0nHead's a sock them. Most of her videos are about sock them.
Really?
Yeah.
What is social democratic about storming the Capitol? Fomenting violent revolution.
Wait,
fomenting
is Shoe0nHead pro storming the Capitol? Because I've talked to Shoe0nHead, and I think she's anti.
What is social democratic about dating a Nazi?
Wait. Can we go back to that first point? Because you're literally just making shit up right now. When did she come out in favor of storming the Capitol? I've talked to her in private.
Oh, she made that tweet where she praised people marching with guillotines to government buildings.
Wait, hold on. Saying that she thinks it's cool that there's a guillotine outside.
Join us because we could go and kill the elites as well.
She has not said that.
Aged like fucking milk.
She has not said that. I know the tweet you're referring to right now. You're so desperate to get a gotcha on her. She was engaging in some pretty standard, irreverent guillotine promotion in favor of the Capitol. Yeah, the actual attack on the Capitol, though, she has been 100% against the entire time it took place.
Mm-hmm. I can imagine that in retrospect it looks rather bad.
No, she isn't. She was always
government institutions. I mean, I can imagine that it looks rather bad in retrospect.
No. I've made the same takes, right? But just to cut here, I'll give you this one for free. Just a few months ago, I made a video praising, I think, Guatemalans for setting their Capitol building on fire because they were protesting economic austerity. And I stand by the content of that video. But that doesn't mean I'm in favor of what happened at the Capitol building.
And how social democratic is that?
Well, I'm not a social democrat, so not very.
Well, but she praised it. How social democratic is that?
Okay, I think...
You know what democracy is, do you?
We've had a productive... I'm very pro-democracy. I think we've had a productive conversation. I legitimately don't know if you're inebriated right now. I wish... I'm being sincere right now, okay? I do think there's a problem when people get reformed too readily, where people's pasts get ignored. I don't think I've done that with anybody. If there's anyone I did that to, I think it was Chris Raygun, but you don't seem to have an issue with him. But the way you talk about these issues and these people makes you seem incredibly unhinged. If you ever want to talk about specific, like, ways to improve how to move people to the left, I'm legitimately interested in having that conversation with you. This just feels like I'm defending Shoe's character against weird fallacious attacks, which is not something I'm interested in doing.
Okay.
Shoe makes mistakes. I don't know. I'd feel weird if she was defending me super hard too, because she'd probably fuck it up.
It is not in my interest to move people to the left. I believe people should express their opinions and formulate them themselves. But I do believe that you will be very detrimental to left-wing YouTube. I'm not part of left-wing YouTube, but I believe the style you do, this rambling, unresearched garbage.
It's a live stream.
Yeah, and it's like Warski Show over and over again.
It's not the, come on,
like the
man.
streams that we used to do with Sargon. It's like the streams we used to do with Sargon as well.
You just don't like live streams,
rambling
then.
nonsense.
You just don't.
No, I don't like rambling, badly researched nonsense.
Live streams, okay? Because
I don't like the lack of responsibility.
Okay, wait. Real question: do you think I'm as smart as Sargon?
Painting over things? Oh, that would be so much better, wouldn't it be?
Wait, I'm asking you. I don't even know what you're implying.
Well, you are very similar to Sargon.
No, I'm asking, like, do you think I'm about as smart? Like, my content's about as smart? Like, it's about as
I'm not in a position to make. Well, you didn't ask your content. You asked you.
Okay, then I'll clarify. Not in a position. Do you think
I'm not in a position. You ask questions and then you interrupt people when they respond.
It was a clarifying
I'm not in a
question.
Position, I am not in a position to make a judgment of your intelligence. But I can say that, yeah, I guess you're very good at marketing. You're definitely running a really good PR campaign.
Okay, so do you think my content is as well thought out as what you would expect from a Sargon or a Warski live stream?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's very strange, but I'll take your criticism into consideration.
It is very reminiscent of what we used to do.
Okay, because I live stream?
I dislike heavily that you are basically continuing the bad practices that people like me used to participate in.
Live streaming?
The type of content that should have fucking died in 2018.
Live streams? They're only getting bigger.
Live streams, what's that guy called again? The guy who's basically your version of V. Fuck, I always forget his name.
Like for Vendetta?
No, V, Sargon's little bald washer. You have one of those yourself.
I have many bald washers. Name?
I know, but this one is particularly weird. Sanderhall, exactly. Sanderhall.
He's never actually washed my balls IRL. And it's clarifying for that.
And good for you. Good for you. And it's also the same kind of shit that V used to do.
What is V?
Picking random articles and rambling about them without actually reading them.
Wait, what article?
You did the same thing. You pick random articles, you pick random videos, you live stream your reaction to them. You don't seem to be reading them before you actually stream yourself.
Your issue is with live streaming.
Still does these hot take videos, picking random articles and random fucking wine aunts and whatever.
Your issue is just with live streaming.
It just continues. No, it is with this style of content, this cheap,
I think it's just live streaming that you
rambly,
have an issue with.
Bad style of content.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
No, I don't.
I'll give you the final credit on this. Can you think of a single video or issue that I have misrepresented or lied about or otherwise did a disservice to?
You have definitely did a disservice to Israel and the Middle Eastern conflict.
Wait, give me a perspective.
Jesus
wait, hold
fucking
on.
Christ.
Give me an argument that I've made that you disagree with.
You said that Israel should be glassed.
Yes.
I mean, fucking hell.
Hold on.
The extermination of half the world's Jewish population.
Hold on. So
what
do
you think will happen when you glass a country? That the people will just get up and run away?
Hold on. So first
Didn't you think this through?
Are you okay? So please, hold on. First of all,
you always do this thing when you stream where you interrupt people and then insinuate that they are somehow not well.
That is something that I'm doing a lot in this conversation, I'll admit. But hold on.
Yeah.
That was
okay?
So that
are
was
you okay? It is rather
okay, I'm
dishonest.
Just gonna mute you. So that was from 2 years ago during a live stream where I was reading an article from a fascist who was justifying Palestinian deaths, and I made a hyperbolic comment like, America should stop sending bombs to Israel and start dropping them on them, or something like that. The idea that I ever actually advocated for any violence against the Israeli people as like a policy position or something I sincerely believed in is ridiculous. I think after that quote, I immediately downplayed it and said, I'm kidding, of course, that was hyperbolic, but you get the ban either way. The idea, so like, if that's the best you can do at pointing out like how I misrepresent information, like me having a heated gaming moment that I immediately walk back, that I don't substantiate with any policy beliefs afterwards, then I think I'm doing pretty okay with my channel. Because I've said a lot of hyperbolic shit, but I think when it comes to making serious arguments, I'm very responsible.
That is exactly, I'm very grateful that you detailed it like that. Because this is exactly the shit that we used to do.
Okay.
That is exactly the shit
So
that
I'm a
people
crypto,
like Sagan
anti-Semite, neo-Nazi.
No, shut up and finally, for once, let someone finish a point.
Finally, let's let you talk.
We used to do this the entire time. We made really nasty fucking statements under the pretense of it being edgy jokes.
Okay, what would I have to do to prove I'm not an anti-Semite?
No, oh, my God, you're trying to distract again.
No, what would I have to do?
I told you, we used to do this.
Wait, what would I have to do?
Look at Scrump. Scrump is a great example. He used to say, oh, black people commit more crime. And then he made a really edgy statement on it. Did you mute me again?
No, I didn't.
Well, I'm trying to explain this. I'm just explaining this to you, and you're trying to interrupt me, so I can't make my point.
Question, what
it is what you do, but
what could I do to prove not anti-Semite?
You just described what you do.
Wait,
you just described yourself.
What can I do?
Make these hyperbolics. You just described yourself. You make these hyperbolic statements, and then you just walk back on them and jokes. And that's exactly what we used to do.
You realize the difference.
Wait, the difference is
statements. The difference is
walk back on it and say,
I have to mute you now. I'm sorry. So the difference is sometimes I make hyperbolic statements and walk them back. The difference is that I'm not lying. That's the critical difference. He's still talking. So I just want to ask, last question. It's the question of the day. What would I have to do to prove to you that I'm not an anti-Semite? Go.
Why do you constantly have to mute people? Why?
Because
when they talk,
I'm asking.
Can't you let people finish?
Wait.
I mean, you didn't answer the question that I asked before.
Okay. One last time.
Can't you see how you're doing the same bullshit that we used to do?
One last time.
Hyperbolic statements, walkbacks, the excuse of it just being an edgy joke.
I answered that. I don't know if you were listening. You probably weren't because you were talking over me, but I did answer that.
You didn't answer it.
I did.
You didn't answer it. You just brought up another question.
The real reason, and the reason you're probably frustrated.
You're not an anti-Semite.
So wait, I just want to know, what would I have to do? What would I have to do?
Don't say anything that can be construed as such.
So wait, what can I do now?
Isn't that the lesson to be learned out of the community that I was part of?
So what could I do now to indicate I'm not an anti-Semite?
My God, I just answered the question and you repeat yourself.
No, what you said was don't ever do anything.
No, I said don't say things that can be construed as anti-Semitic. Don't, in the name of being some sort of edgy jokester.
That's not an answer. Wait, what if you've already done that though?
then you have to live with it.
Then your answer is there's nothing.
Then you have to justify it. Hold on,
wait, I'm muting you again. So this is your whole issue. You are a very vindictive person. I don't think you're interested in bringing people over. As you've indicated multiple ways in this convo, you don't have like an internal logic for moving people over ideologically. You don't care about people being moved over ideologically. And you're super fucking mad at the idea of me believing other people can change. I honestly think you just want to simmer in perpetual resentment and be super fucking mad forever, okay? But look, my dude, you're still trying to talk over me even though you're muted. Just look, okay? If you ever have a specific criticism, then I'm happy to hear it, but this is ridiculous. Okay, I'm unmuting you.
Saying that they make these claims even
we're good. Do you have any final memes you want to throw out? Like, you're not even engaging with the conversation, but I think I've got you pretty much penned, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to you burning down left-wing YouTube with your bullshit.
Wait, how will I burn it down?
Because your content is inherently toxic.
But wait, like what? You gotta give me an example. You just gave me a quote from 2 years ago.
Oh my God, we just talk about this for like the last 30 minutes.
No, you didn't provide a single example of a thing I actually believe that you disagree with.
Inherently toxic. You just continued the anti-SJW style of making
I love you, buddy. I appreciate you coming on, even though you said yesterday that you wouldn't. You can talk again with me in the future anytime you want, because I actually really enjoy your content. I don't know where the divide is right now. This is like the Sean problem. He's a lunatic on Twitter, but his videos are so good. So yeah, I don't know. Godspeed, I guess. Holy shit. That was so much weirder than I expected it to be. Jesus Christ. You were way too good faith. I don't need to be bad faith to look good in a conversation with somebody who acts like that. I can basically just sit here silently and look really good in comparison. Yeah. Kraut is like a really fucking bad experience with like the online alt-right and shit, and it's super. He had a lot of really fucked up stuff happen to him, of course, but I don't think that justifies being some sort of rage demon for the rest of your life, especially since a lot of the stuff that he said was patently untrue. Like, I can't take him seriously when a lot of the claims he made are just flatly false, like trying to paint me as an anti-Semite, or like saying Shoe supported the Capitol storming. Like, yeah.